Good morning, everybody. How are you? Sara and I are here. She just took off for a little bit, but I think that's probably a good thing because I'm going to show you what happened to our butterflies. Can you see in there? Can you see them? It's been 1 week and they've actually made themselves into chrysalis already. Remember, they were little tiny caterpillars. Now they're hanging from the top, and I'm going to take them out, which is probably good that Sara is not too close to me. And I'm going to put them actually into a very special netting, and then we're going to see what happens. We're going to let them be, and I'm going to place them in the top right on here and let them hang down. But I'm going to take them out right now so that you can see before we read our story. Okay, let's see if I can take this off very, very carefully. And then I think you can get a better look at them when I take this off. And some of their little threads are still on there, but that's okay. And you can see there are our chrysalis, and they literally just made their chrysalis over the past day. They were caterpillars just a day ago, and now look at them. And they are hanging, and they are ready actually to go into their little place to be left alone. And then we're not going to touch them. I'm just going to place them in here. You can see. And there they are. And then we're going to find out what happens. And this way they're safe. And Sara is not going to be able to get them. And our cat Dean is not going to be able to get them. And then we'll check in and see what happens with them. But right now they're nice. I don't know if you can see them, but they're hanging in there. There they are. And we're just going to let them be. And maybe next week they'll have turned into butterflies. I don't know. We're going to find out. And in the meantime, Sara and I are going to show you a book. Come here, Sara. Come here. Sara's going to say hi before we read our book so that you get a good look at her. Come say hi to everybody, Sara. Come here. Here she is. We just did a little special treat with peanut butter, so she's looking for the peanut butter. So she'll come back later, I think. In the meantime, we're going to read this special book. And this book is actually a book about butterflies, and it's called Summer Birds. And we've been seeing a lot of butterflies lately, so it must be getting close to the time to have summer birds. And this is the story about the Butterflies of Maria Merien, and it's actually a true story. And Sara's all set. She's going to do her nice listening position, so get in a good position so you guys can listen too. Can you see her down there? She's pretty far down there, but she's ready and waiting for her story. I got all upside down. It says, Summer Birds was a medieval name for the mysterious butterflies and moths that appeared suddenly during warm weather, and they vanished in the fall. So a long time ago, people were a little bit nervous about butterflies, and this is kind of the story about a woman who made people realize that they were beautiful. Each year, the sky fills with summer birds. Many people call them butterflies. Everyone believes that these insects come from mud, as if by magic, but that was a long time ago, so they thought they just magically appeared. We know better now, right? But I disagree. So this is Maria, and she's saying, I disagree. I'm only 13 years old, but I capture insects and I study them. I have to catch my insects in secret because neighbors would not think that was a good idea. Everyone says insects are not good, but I know my summer birds are beautiful and they're harmless. Good for her. I keep caterpillars and summer birds in boxes and jars. I feed the caterpillars with leaves. I sit and I watch. Caterpillars are born from eggs laid by the summer birds, so they don't come from the mud, do they? The caterpillars eat leaves, and they grow, and they eat some more. Just like our caterpillars, right? When the caterpillars are big enough, they spin cocoons, and these are made of silky threads. While the caterpillars rest inside their silky cocoons or their chrysalis, they turn into summer birds. The summer birds come out of their cocoons with wings ready to fly. Then they fly from one flower to another, sipping nectar. I know the grown-ups are wrong about summer birds. Insects are not born from mud. I have seen their whole life cycle with my own eyes. Insects grow slowly, changing from one to another, and none of these forms are bad. I love to paint colorful pictures of every kind of caterpillar, chrysalis, and summer bird. I keep a notebook filled with my paintings. I write down everything the summer birds do. In my paintings, I always show which kinds of leaves the caterpillars eat. I also paint the flowers where summer birds drink the nectar. Sometimes I think that I'm like a summer bird waiting to fly. Right now I am a child, but in a few years I will be a grown-up. When I'm a grown-up, I will be free to travel to faraway lands, painting all sorts of rare summer birds and flowers. And that's the end. And because she really watched the butterflies change and the caterpillars change, she could see that they were wonderful and that they were beautiful. Maybe I will even paint the lizards and frogs of faraway lands. I have some tadpoles in a jar of water. I've seen how they're born from eggs, right? And they change. They're not born out of the mud. I watch the tadpoles eat and grow until finally they are big enough until their legs grow. The tadpoles have turned into frogs, and that's their life cycle, right? Someday I will put my paintings into a book, then everyone will know the truth about small animals that change their form. When people understand the life cycle of creatures that change forms, they will stop calling them bad animals, and they will learn, as I have, by seeing the wingless caterpillar turn into a beautiful flying summer bird. And that's the end. And that is a true story. And actually, the Maria Merien painted beautiful, beautiful pictures. And that's actually what Sara says she would like you to do, is take out your paints or your crayons or your markers and make some beautiful summer bird pictures. Beautiful butterflies and caterpillars. And maybe next week we'll see what happens to our friends in here. See if they are hanging in there. And Sarah's going to say goodbye. Before we go, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Sara, come here. Come here. Say goodbye. Come here. Up, up. Here she is. Come here. Tell everyone to have a happy weekend. Okay. Have a wonderful Friday and a very wonderful weekend too. Okay. She's tired this morning. Bye, everybody.